Turkey here. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the lack of uploads recently. I was doing some other things kind of sorcery related. I purchased a lot of bulk and it has taken me about 2 weeks to sort through it all, but I'm done with that now. Back to making videos. Hoping to make some cool, ordinary, exceptional decks to give out to my local area and get more players into the game. So maybe you'll see some videos of that format coming up in the future. What I got for you today is a recent sealed game, the first place match from the Mass Sorcery Guild's Crucible Quest. We've been doing a progressive sealed series, so this is, I believe, our third event with it, where starting off you got 4 packs of AL, 2 packs of beta, you built a sealed deck, and then with every subsequent event you would get 1 additional AL pack. So we're at like the third one now, and there's gonna be one final one to end the Crucible Quest, and there's like prizes at the end for all that. But that should be this month. So if you're in the area, you can join the Massachusetts Sorcery Guild Discord and show up to that last event, and you'll get like, I think it's 2 packs of beta and like 7 of AL. So you'll get a decent number of packs, and you'll be able to build a kind of more higher powered limited deck than what you would normally play. But yeah, this is a first place match here. We got Greg versus Kris. You've seen Greg in another video with MSG. He's a pretty renowned player. I think this is Kris's first time on the channel. Both playing Spellslinger. So far we see Greg, he's going Fire Air, and Kris has Earth, but he's about to play his second sight. Maybe we'll see if he shows us something different. Oh yeah, we see a pawn, so maybe he plays something out a little ahead of schedule. Regardless, Earth, Water. He plays a Shelly Coat actually, so nothing too fancy. But the Shelly Coat's ability is really nice. You can see that Greg, he has a stealthed up Pit Vipers, stealth from the treetop hideout, and so the Pit Vipers will not be able to damage Shelly Coat because of her ability. She shrugs off 1 damage. Pit Vipers only deal 1, so they just can't really. Their bites, their fangs just don't get into that thick Shelly Coat. So he just moves the Vipers up, no attack. He plays Harassing Ruffians. Those can deal with the Shelly Coat. And it's a pass to Kris, who is drawing a spell for turn. See Greg, he's got 2 fire, 1 air. Fire air has been pretty good in AL Limited, I've noticed. A lot, you get all those good charge minions. Playing a bonfire, so destroying all weapons and armor. In Limited, this is really good for lances. There are none right now. But yeah, you get to clear away all those lances. It's actually a really strong effect in Constructed, I've noticed. Not that people play a ton of weapons and armor, but if they ever become popular, having a site that just blows up a bunch of artifacts can be really good, I feel. And then Kris gets to attack with the Shelly Coat for 2. So that happens. He buried the Harassing Ruffians, took them out, cleared the way for the Shelly Coat. Now it's on Greg. He's got the Pit Vipers. No real target to eat up with the Pit Vipers. So he's kind of just keeping them there, stealthed up, being annoying, being rascalous. And he's got the Shelly Coats like on his doorstep, right? So he's going to want to figure out something to do there. I mean, Shelly Coat's not the biggest threat. You can let it linger, but you definitely want to put up something that's a bit bigger than the Pit Vipers. Plays a Forge, opts to not play a Lance because he wants that 4 mana to play Lumbering Giant, and that's what we were talking about. That's a big boy. That's a scary guy that Kris is going to have to think about. So he untaps. He's going for a sight. It looks like he's out of this. He needs that sight to get to 4 mana. It looks like he's drawn only spells from this point in the game. I like to draw an early sight so that I can better shape, like, in case you get like a good effect on a sight. It looks like Greg has a sight and some spells. So yeah, Greg did the early sight draw. And Kris is thinking. Lumbering Giant is no joke. It's tough to deal 4. He already used a berry. So, when you only have 2 packs of beta, like, how many berries are you really going to have? We don't know if he wants to play a site. Maybe he drew like a bad site, a site he's not too eager to play. Or he draws a village and he has to contemplate whether he wants a foot soldier. Going down to 3 mana would probably mean that he's not going to have an answer to Lumbering Giant. But there's always a possibility that he just doesn't have the Lumbering Giant answer. So in that case, maybe you just make the foot soldier and get value out of your site. And it looks like that is what he does. So Lumbering Giant probably going to connect next turn. And you'll see Kris, he's doing 3 colors. And he, in his packs, that man has a color out of space and 2 tri-sites from his pack. So he's kind of like Elementalist Spell Slinger. I mean, we don't see any of the sites out right now, but he got really lucky on his unique site hits. And so he is able to really flex, splash his colors. He attacks with the Shelly Coat, putting Greg to 16. He's got that Shelly Coat right on top of him now. But Greg will be able to make parity once this Lumbering Giant attacks. So thinking about what else he wants to do, the giant attack looks pretty free. He taps for a site. I actually don't see if he maybe had one. So he plays a Pendragon banner, and you'll see the cut there. It looks a bit wishy-washy, but we had some misplays and some rules understandings with the banner. So he plays it onto the Pit Vipers so that the Pit Vipers are holding it, and the buff affects the Lumbering Giant, and the Giant gets to hit for a 5. The Vipers, he wanted to be able to like attack the foot soldier with the Vipers and freely kill that soldier, but because basically something needs to be holding the banner. You can't just play the banner on your site and have it affect allies, because while nobody's holding it, nobody is controlling it, and so there are no allies to the banner. So because of that, he opts to, he could have like let the giant hold it, move it, and clean kill the foot soldier with the Vipers. He chooses to do the damage plan, and so he puts it on the Vipers, he keeps them up, and then attacks with the giant for 5. I think that was the good play, pushing that damage, keeping the banner around, keeping the Vipers around, and you still have this aura happening. Tintagil, I don't know how to pronounce that site, I'll be honest, so I may be butchering it here, but that's the first tri-site we see coming out from Kris. So lucky there. And also minor explosion, but he doesn't have the fire, so we're gonna see this get rewinded, because unfortunately Tintagil, fire is the one element it does not provide. So yeah, everything here is up in the air right now. He wants to pick up that banner, and it's also really neat. Like, a big part of this game is going to come down to controlling the banner, because I mean, it's an art, like any player can pick it up as long as it's available, and it has a very meaningful effect, providing an anthem to all nearby allies. So definitely you don't want your opponent to have it, and it's good for you to have. So yeah, we rewind that play, and instead of the minor explosion, Kris does the Burning Hands, which he does have the attunement for, so he's able to kill the Pit Vipers. It's honestly kind of nice that he gets to hold on to the minor explosion. I think it's better to keep that in the pocket than the Burning Hands. Foot soldiers pick up the banner. They don't seem long for this world, because the giant can always crash in on them. We'll see if Greg wants to do that, because he can always just take an additional 4 damage onto Kris. Looks like he is attacking the foot soldier. I couldn't tell what that hand motion was there. Maybe he's attacking the site. Nah, he wouldn't attack the site. Or like, If he attacks the site, Kris doesn't get to defend. I don't think anything happened there. I think he's just like, okay, we're back at it. Greg has 4 mana. He's got an untapped Lumbering Giant. He's going to 5 mana. He's got a site in hand. He looks like he really wants to play that site. There's a Shellycoat right on top of him. Shellycoat is kind of putting in the work. I mean, 6 damage all from the Shellycoat right now. I did see that Greg has a Burning Hands, but it's not enough to kill the Shellycoat because of that 1 damage off. All right, so Greg plays a Lookout. So we're going to get to see Kris's hand here. We see the Explosion. We see Siege Giant, Sir Ironside, and the Bannerman. So unfortunately, the Siege Giant and the Explosion are not castable right now. Sir Ironside is, and so is the Bannerman. So he's got those options, and perhaps he draws a spell. Maybe he draws a site because he wants that fire. Siege Giant is nice. Sir Ironside is really good because +7 on your opponent's turn can really make, like, good luck on that Siege Giant. Not Siege Giant, Lumbering Giant, like, beating over it. Like, he's able to defend the Lumbering Giant very easily with Sir Ironside. All right, Kris goes for a site. So he wants to see that fire, definitely. And let's see it. Oh, it's a Briar Patch. He doesn't hit the fire. But he does have 6 mana. Given what we know about his hand, he can only play 1 spell right here. And I would like it to be Sir Ironside right on top of that Lumbering Giant so that you can defend it. And if Greg wants, he can throw his Band of Thieves at it as well. And that would kill Sir Ironside, but that would also, like, you'd be getting a 2-for-1 if you did that. But instead he plays the Bannerman, and he plays it where he's going to buff Shellycoat. So Shellycoat is going to deal 3 to Greg. Greg could defend with Band of Thieves, but it would not be a very good defense because Band of Thieves dies. Shellycoat lives because of her ability. So he takes it, and I think that's wise. I don't love that Bannerman move because, well, the Band of Thieves can kill it, but the Band of Thieves are going to walk into Briar Patch and end up trading with the Bannerman if they go for that. But I still think it's, like, worth it. Oh, we see Poweries in Greg's hand. He just drew that. Very strong. Oh, actually, no. The Bannerman, the Thieves don't die walking into the Briar Patch because Greg holds the banner. Yeah, I really would have liked to have seen Kris play Sir Ironside on that Giant and fight for the banner. Like, Kris played his own banner, right? But it's not in a well-protected place. And, okay, so Bonfire. So Greg goes to 6. And he plays a Burning Hand. So he actually just gets to deal 2 by shooting that way and killing the Bannerman. So now he's got, you know, free reign over, he can, like, free attacks with the Giant and with the Band of Thieves, and he's got the banner. So it's 5-4. 5-4 is 9. He's got 3 mana left, so he can play the Poweries, and they can attack for 4, which is 13. So he's spreading out. So he is doing his damage. Yet Poweries, and he deals 2, puts Kris to 2. So interestingly, Greg chose to use the Burning Hands to kill the Bannerman. And, like, yeah, it's definitely good to keep minions off your opponent's board because you never know what they could have. Like, giving people their minions, letting them untap with minions can always be scary because of, you know, a lot of cards that work off of minions, like Grapple Shot, like Gigantism, things like that. But if he had attacked onto the pawn with Band of Thieves, he could have cast the Burning Hands, hitting Spellslinger for 2 and actually doored Kris. So he took a more relaxed approach to clear off the minions and not like rush going to door, which I think, yeah, he's in a pretty commanding position. I don't think he needs to be like balls to the walls right now, racing. Kris isn't gonna be able to deal 11 this turn. He also has good knowledge of what's in Kris's hand, right? We still know he has Siege Giant and Minor Explosion and Sir Ironside. So we're going to see Sir Ironside right there. So he still has the Minor Explosion mana, which, yeah, he can use to kill the Poweries. Once Sir Ironside is in play on the banner is no longer working, so the Poweries go back down to 3, and the Minor Explosion kills him. Sir Ironside is able to defend the Lumbering Giant, but the Band of Thieves should be able to put Kris to door. Greg has a different plan, though, and he goes for the Vanishment. So he stealths up the Giant and stealths up the Band of Thieves. And then attacking with the Giant means that Sir Ironside cannot defend because of the stealth. So he gets Kris to door, and he he regains stealth on Band of Thieves. And he could look to move them up this turn, get them in it's a very clean kill with stealth. You just get them to attack the Avatar. Can't really do anything about it. He opts to move up with Spellslinger. Maybe he has a burn spell. Actually, yeah, we see he has Sword and Shield, and he has Arc Lightning in his hand. So, just walking onto pawn next turn and casting Arc Lightning should give the game to Greg. But Kris is going to get one last turn. I mean, he would kind of need playing a sight into a corner and then blinking there twice. He would need to get away from nearby proximity of Greg. And he could door Greg, I think. Well, no, he couldn't. Sir Ironside is 4 power on his turn. So he has 6 damage on the board. We know he has the Siege Giant. Siege Giant could throw Kris. But there's nowhere to go that he's safe. He's out of reach of Greg's Arc Lightning. He would need a sight on the corners. Okay, so it looks like he's gonna attack. Okay, no. I think he thought Sir Ironside was 7 at this point. I think he was looking to just kill the Giant. So he has Siege Giant, and he has one other card in hand, right? Yeah, he has 2 cards. Again, not much to really do here. He doesn't know that he's up against an Arc Lightning, but yeah, he plays the Brown Bears. He's going for the damage. It's a strong attack. He's going to put Greg to 3. So you can definitely say that this game was close. You got the Brown Bears to defend against the Giant. You don't really have an answer to a stealth Band of Thieves who are slowly encroaching on you. I mean, these are what Kris knows about. These are the threats that are present to him. But Greg wastes no time moving up Arc Lightning like a gentleman. And good game, Greg, winning the 3rd event.